Hello, I'm Wyatt. Today I'm going to be talking about scuba diving and the benefits of it, as well as why you should get certified. I just want to ask, does anybody actually know what scuba stands for? It stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. There's really no benefit to that. I just thought it was interesting, so I kind of included it. One of the best reasons why you should get certified is you can do a lot of bucket list stuff. So I have a bunch of examples after this. I'm just going to go through this slide first. But when you are able to cross items off your bucket list, you actually get a really big sense of meaning. So by doing that, um, you basically just kind of have a better life. Like a lot of people look for like what is the meaning of life, or like, oh, I want meaning, I want to mean something. And a way to do that is crossing items off your bucket list or having really good experiences. Um, like unforgettable experiences. And those come in all shapes and sizes, but I'm obviously going to be arguing for scuba diving in this speech. And I know I can speak from personal experience, the times I've gone scuba diving and like I've had a really good experience with it, which is pretty much every time. I never forget. There's one in specific that I'll show you in a bit, but it is like etched into my brain. I'll never forget it. And I went with my siblings and we still talk about it all the time and like say how beautiful it was. And from a Christian aspect, it really gives you an appreciation of nature and like God's creation, which is a really cool thing to experience. Also, you're certified for life. So it's not like, oh, I need to get certified now so that way I can go when I'm young. You can go whenever. So say 20 years down the line, you have kids and you're on vacation, and they want to get scuba certified, you can go with them, which would also be pretty cool to go with your kids on something that's really unforgettable. And lastly, it can be really beneficial for you really growing or selling yourself to employers. So I know if anyone's going to med school or grad school or something like that, they want you to take a gap year, or some of them do at least. They want you to take a gap year because doing school's hard, and if you can get a break and gain a lot of experience, that makes you more basically marketable and desirable. And if you're scuba certified, you can enjoy that gap year a lot more. Because if you're on a gap year and you go travel, like that's pretty fun to do. If you go to Mexico and end up scuba diving with whale sharks, I mean, that's a really cool experience to talk to employers or brag about, and it makes you separated from the competition. Oh, there we go. I don't have a video. You'll see it in class, but it's sharks. Uh, you also, if you get scuba certified, you can go and explore shipwrecks, which I haven't done personally, but I really, really want to do. And when you do these, you can basically go treasure hunting as well. So a lot of times when these shipwrecks happen, there's obviously stuff on board. So I know people found like cannonballs and brought them up, or pocket watches, necklaces, a lot of stuff like that, and you can just keep them. You know, sometimes they're worth a lot of money too. But I really want to do it. I haven't, but I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited about it. But it's a really cool experience, and a lot of times they form artificial reefs, like as you can see on the left. They form artificial reefs, so a lot of fish will basically live there and create their own kind of ecosystem, which is really fascinating. You also could go see the Great Barrier Reef, which is one of the seven wonders of the world. That's a pretty big bucket list item, if you ask me. Uh, and if you scuba dive it, you can go a lot deeper than if you just snorkeled it and get a whole different view and see a bunch of different animals, because obviously a lot of animals live at different depths. So this turtle is pretty shallow, but you could also see a turtle really deep, or sharks, or whatever you want to see. But you have to be scuba certified to go down that deep. Lastly, I want to talk about the benefits of scuba diving. There's a lot of health benefits that come with it. There's a lot of mental, so you can lower stress, you can lower anxiety, lower depression, and that really comes from your breathing. So when you're underwater, you have to really breathe slow and like control it, and it's kind of like yoga or meditation in that sense. And by doing that, it relaxes you a lot, and you get to lower all these things, and there's a lot of benefits to that, as well as you're almost in your own world when you're scuba diving. So you get time to think about whatever you want, and you don't have to think about the outside world. There's no stress, nothing on your mind. It's just really relaxing. There's also physical benefits. So you're swimming, obviously, and if have you seen a swimmer that's not shredded? No. There's benefit number one. You can take those good pics for the gram. And they actually put this in use at depth therapy. They take veterans and they would take them scuba diving to help with their PTSD, or if they had a disability from serving, they would take them scuba diving and help work on that through that. So it can be used for a whole lot of good stuff. Thank you for listening. And that's just a statue that fell in the water.